Hey everybody, how's the stream going? Yeah, I don't normally live stream, but I thought I'd give it a try because I have a lot of work to do, and some people said they might actually like to see me just doing stuff. And it's a lot easier to like answer questions and whatnot via this versus email or whatever. I just don't like doing emails. Like when people ask for advice or help, I'm like, well, I don't get paid to answer emails. But at least on the live stream, I'm sort of getting paid, if not very much. At least it's some more than just me and the person emailing me. Yes, I am wired in now. I was completely mistaken. The laptop that I have in here now does have an Ethernet port, and the only reason I haven't been streaming the last 4 or 5 days is because it wasn't turned on, and finally got my computer guy to figure it out, and it was in the BIOS. It was just turned off in the BIOS completely. It's so dumb. I didn't even know you could do that, which this is a newer Core i5 laptop, Dell. It's okay. One thing I don't know how to do yet is how do I incorporate the live chat into the video that gets uploaded to YouTube? Does anybody know how to do that? Also, if anybody is chat for all of this, could you please tell other people that are trying to ask me questions to tag me in their question or comment, because I'm mostly not looking at the live chat unless I see the at GameTech US highlighted. It's like a big orange block and I see it right away. Did we ever move the HDMI port on a high definition upgrade? Yes. That was done 4 batches ago on the red rev. Red, blue, and yellow are all moved out, so you do not need to cut the cord anymore. What mod am I doing today? I was going to this AV Famicom, try to sell it on my site. Am I doing YouTube for money? Yes, but there's not a lot of money in it. That's why I mod consoles. Castlemania Games. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Stephen Tang, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Some people just want to see me sitting around piddling with stuff. I have no idea where this AV Famicom came from. I buy stuff and I test it, see if it works, and then I throw it on the shelf, and I don't really make note of where it came from or anything. What camera do I have? This is a Canon HFS 20, I think. I started out with HFS 100s, and the 20 is basically the same camera, except it has 2 SD card slots and 32 gig internal memory, something like that, which I don't use the internal memory. One thing I don't like about the internal memory, which I can't say that. I think you can make the camera fill up one port of memory and then skip to the next. But I'm not sure if you can do it with internal to SD, but I'm pretty sure you can do it from SD slot 1 to SD slot 2. The HFS 100, the one SD card slot is right here, and it's a pain because like your tripod mounts right here. Well, if you've got a big square, you can't even open this thing. You got to take it off there, and it's just a stupid design, really. But as far as like megapixels and whatnot, I think it's exactly the same as the S20. I think even the lens and whatnot is the same, which I'm not real sure if the lens is super great. This is the only two I've ever had. Hang on, phone call. Hello. Hey, how's it going? Yeah? Right, yeah. Well, I'd like for the girlfriend to be present for the talk, and she doesn't even get home until like 6. I have no idea. We have no plans until evening, I think. Tonight? You want me to call you tonight? Okay. Alright. Alright, bye. Bye. Sorry about that. What'd I miss? Can you output NTSC RF to PAL CRT? I don't know, actually. I know you can do composite. PAL TVs are pretty good about getting NTSC signals. You want a tour of my work area is literally like 10 by 10. What you see in most of the videos, that's pretty much it. A table and some shelves. Well, there's this table and the table that I do most of the videos on. The phone call was a roofer. We're gonna get the oh no. We're gonna get the girlfriend's roof done. So he just wanted to call and see when we could meet up and talk about it. So I might need to zoom in on this because I think we got another world's dirtiest going on here. I gotta do this slow because there's a delay. Alright. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Dude, you just seriously sent me $10? That's amazing. First time everybody's sent me any money for that. Can you retro black plastic? I think so. Well, yes, you can. Is the output going to be black? I don't know. You might harm it, you might not. But I've seen some non-white plastics like grays and stuff done, and they look a lot better. When is the second Draken console vid coming? I don't know. Still trying to plan something more special for that console. Thought maybe the St. Louis, Missouri Game Con, but it's really too late to hit that one. So I think there's like less than a month until it's happening. When I play NES Famicom for fun, I don't play for fun really. I don't have time to, and I'm an addict. You know, if I find a game that I like, I'll play for months and do nothing else and get nothing done. I hate it, so I quit doing it. Skyrim was the last time I really got involved in a game, and it just happened to be right when I bought this place, and I just didn't have all my stuff here, so I had nothing to do, so I had time to kill. But I do use a flash card. I have a power pack and an EverDrive. Do I like the NES blink fix? Have to be more specific. I'm thinking it means blinking light when. I like it. I'd like to do another video about it because I had some drama with the people that own the place, run the place. Yes, Kevin does call it the EverDrive. He does not like the EverDrive stuff. The cameras, yeah. This is as good as it gets for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a way. I just haven't figured it out yet. I have a display button. If I hit it, it just turns on more stuff. I do not do computers really, except for myself or family. Don't really see the need. The shit gets updated so fast. Unless you're talking about retro computers. Still no, but the new stuff is just not worth fixing. It's just too throwaway. Skyrim took over 9 months of your life. Yeah, exactly. I can't get into the blinking light when drama right now. Okay, I'm gonna open this thing up. What? Yeah, this is somewhat typical. Look at this stuff. I'm sure this happens from just rolling back and forth inside here, but God, that's disgusting. Oh yeah, it just keeps giving. What I don't see is any major garbage in the car slot. What was my first computer console ever? Nintendo front loader. I grew up very poor and I did not get it right away. I had to wait a couple years. I think it was Christmas of '88 before I got mine. Yeah, there's a little bit of junk down in there. Like I said, I think this thing, it was set on the shelf with the rest of the good consoles. I think it was actually working. Nice big wing. Power switch is pretty sticky. Somebody's asking about the Game Genie connection issue. Yes, I do have a fix for that. That video should be coming in the next month or two. I have to order some parts. Somebody else did a hack job version that kind of got me going on doing something about it. Have I done one to output RGB as an option and HDMI? No. Ketris looked into it. Something about the programming of the NES RGB just would not allow it to happen with HDMI interposer in place with it, and somebody would have to pay Ketris a huge ton of money in order to fix it, and it's probably just not going to happen. If you want HDMI and RGB and S-Video and composite and component, all that, then you need to look towards like the Analog NT Mini, the FPGA NES that Ketris did. That will be a little bit more like what you're probably looking for. Unfortunately, that is not anything new to me. I've had bigger hairballs inside those than that. How do I clean pins? What is that? This looks like a piece of tape. It's wrinkled up like it might be shed skin from a bug. Gross. Don't normally see corrosion on the bottom, but I'm seeing some. Pins up here, right here. Usually the cause of corrosion on the bottom is bug guts, and guess what? We got a lot of bug guts. They throw this thing away anyway, so there's no loss there. Another wing off a bug. I'm not gonna concern myself with cleaning that thing. So I am going to throw the plastics under some water and then drown them in some purple cleaner degreaser. I'll be back in a few. I usually actually clean these after I do a bunch of prep. I'm starting to wonder if I should try. I wonder if I should clean it first. I assume everybody here has the dirtiest videos. The top loader. caught a lot of flack for a couple things on that. Like saying that it might be sewage and then touching it. I'm like, what do you care if I touched it or not? Oh, and then the sink not being clean. That sink is, I meant to say it in the video, but that sink is not used for food prep. And who cares if it's clean or not? But the reason it isn't is because of that purple cleaner. It leaves one hell of a residue. So like what I just did was held the piece in the sink and then sprayed it down with purple cleaner. Well, the purple cleaner got all over the sink, right? Well, I didn't rinse the sink because, for one, I just don't care. And then it is stainless, so I'm sure I could probably really scrub it or grind on it and get it back to stainless looking good again. One thing I'm seeing here is the power switch looks very corroded. As long as it works, not that big of a deal, but the two pins, if they're corroded to the point where they're going to break off or something, then you got to get worried. They still look nice and thick. Maybe not perfectly shiny and clean, but I don't think they're going anywhere. I will say there's not a lot of corrosion on IC pins. Usually when there's bug guts, there's more corrosion on the pins themselves. Like that pin right there might be the worst one, and it's not that bad. Couple back here, light corrosion. I don't think there's anything to get too worried about. By the way, I'll repeat myself. If anybody's trying to ask me a question in the chat, you have to tag me, like at GameTechUS. It'll highlight it and I can see it. Otherwise, I'm just not really paying attention to chat. And if anybody knows how to attach the live chat to the video that gets uploaded to YouTube, tell me, because that would be epically good. Otherwise, the last live stream that I actually did was like an hour and a half, and I'd say over an hour it was just me working, doing the same thing over and over and over and over. I don't know why anybody was watching that video. Let's see. Plug in the 808. I like to cut the legs of the caps flush. And I'm going to replace. Kind of makes them easier to desolder. Do I use OBS? I'm not using it now because the Elgato HD60 came with the software needed to live stream. What's wrong with it? Gonzalez, what's wrong with this? Nothing. As far as I know, as far as I remember, there was nothing wrong with it. We're high-def NES modding it. How many high-def NES kits have been sold so far? I think we're approaching 3,000, and that includes the analog NT kits as well, I think. Do I mean X-Split? I don't know. Is that what came with the Elgato? It doesn't say, it just says Game Capture HD. Yeah, this is not a repair stream. This is more just a stream. I'm going to modify this AV Famicom. I'd need to use OBS or XSplit with a plugin to overlay chat. We'll see now when, like when I stop this, it automatically uploads it. Well, the game capture HD uploads it to YouTube. Or maybe YouTube's recording it right now. Crap. I need to look into that though. Your EverDrive N8's giving an error. No, I have no idea. Oh, so I could capture with OBS and it would overlay the chat onto the stream itself. That makes sense. It's worth a shot. I actually did have OBS on the last computer, but the last computer was just way under streaming. Recommendations of vendors for replacement new NES AC adapters. I actually bought a bunch that I still have not got put on my website. I can't really say is they're the best ever. Luckily the NES will take just about anything 9 volt and over, AC or DC. I'd give it at least 700 milliamps depending on if you got a flash card or a mod kit in it. But I was going to start selling the modded consoles with an AC adapter, so I bought a bunch and I thought, well, I might as well buy enough to make it worthwhile to sell them on my website too. I think HD Retrovision just went through a bunch of AC adapter stuff trying to find a really good one. Remember them talking about it maybe on the Retro Roundtable. If you never heard of that, that's a pretty good show. Voltar HD Retrovision, Bob from Retro RGB is on it. And Renee from DB Electronics. I can do YouTube and Twitch at the same time? Really? My connection might be good enough now that I'm wired from here to the router. I just did a speed test before I did this, and I got my full bandwidth of, it was like, what was it, 28 megabits upload and 5.5, or yeah, 28 download and 5.5 upload, which is probably good enough. I missed one. I do remove the 7805 before retesting, because I've done so many of them. I kind of have a better feel of what to do if it doesn't work. So do as I say, not as I do. Follow the install guides. This is just how I mod for myself. Almost forgot about Q1 too. What happened to my second channel? You mean Jason Does DIY? It's still there. Just haven't put anything up in a long time because I haven't had any time to work on anything. Any advice on mod FC1 3DO to HDMI RGB? Don't want to try the Russian dude. I'd prefer HDMI. The one that I did, somebody else bought the kit and sent it to me, so I have no advice for the 3DO mod kits yet. Did I learn all my electronics knowledge in school, or is this a hobby? Just curious about how I got my skills. This is not a hobby. This is how I make a living right now. I did some schooling, Cleveland Institute of Electronics or Engineering. I can't remember. It's like a home study course. I didn't finish it, but most of my modding knowledge comes from reading on the internet, really, and trying it myself. What gauge is the solder? Geez, I can't remember. I want to say it might be 25 thou. It might be 31. I think no, the label's still there. It's 32 thou. Actually, I think my stream on YouTube is actually getting choppy as well. It looks like it's quite a bit of delay in it too. Would I work on an arcade machine? I guess I would work on one, or try to figure out how to work on one, but I don't have room for anything like that. Like, I have some PC 10 boards here I'd really like to see if they actually function. Wouldn't mind getting a hold of all the PC-10 RGB mods I did in the past, and seeing if those people at least wanted to upgrade to NES RGB and get that chip back and put it back into the PC-10 board. Under the chips is really clean. Looks like the legs came out mostly okay. I like to wipe them and make them a little smoother, just because I've had problems in the past with the dirty legs pulling the dual wipe contacts right out of the socket. It was actually one of the main reasons why we went with the round pin socket in the beginning, because I pushed for it because of that reason. Big mistake. Well, I'm going to go put this in some purple cleaner, let it soak for a minute, and while that's soaking, I'm going to clean the top and bottom shell of plastics. So I'll be gone for a little bit here. I also need like a dual camera setup, don't I? Let's see. Excuse me. So you can see what I'm doing, plus you can also see my face. Make it a little bit more interesting. What I need is a really good computer in here with a really good capture card. Try to find a capture card that has dual inputs. That'd be nice. Guess I should clean this too, huh? AV Famicom kit. Remember, this doesn't have a one microfarad in the back. Or was it? Remember. .47. 220. .100, but I can't remember if it had one in the back or not. There's two revs of the AV Famicom board. And the 1500, which replaces the 1000. Let's see, high def main board. Ribbon cables. Hosers. Sockets. Headers. Wheel wipes. Gotta have the LED. We should do the zapper restore in this too. Seems like I might have a microphone restore circuit too somewhere. I have never tried. I'm not sure if there's any. Is there anything on the flash cards I could try to actually test the microphone? I know we got lots of this on the live stream, but this is what I need to do right now. My Life in Gaming is streaming a blinking light when installed into a high-def NES on Periscope? What's Periscope? I need to catch up with those dudes. Oh, Twitter's live stream. Yeah, I knew that. I've seen it down there on the side. I thought Periscope was the name of the channel that was live streaming. It's always some weird news thing that's streaming down there. How'd I meet Kevtris? He contacted me. He seen my first Draken video, and then he seen M82, and he wanted to work on it. So he came down and started reverse engineering it, and that's how the ASIC replacement happened for the M82. Anybody getting deja vu? This is exactly what I was doing on the last stream, or 3 or 4 streams that I did. This won't last long though. Yes, me and Kevin Chris do live close. I think he's about 35 miles the way that I drive. I kind of like to take the back way to his place. Avoid 465 because I'm usually going up to his place, and the 465 is here. I just rather avoid most times. It seems like it's about the same amount of time too. What am I working on? I'm working on an AV Famicom, actually, just doing a high-def NES install. Probably going to sell it on my website. Need to put some funds back in the PayPal. Been buying a lot of crap lately. Someone mentioned trying to cut the spacers off the dual ops to make them fit better. There's no spacers, there's these, I guess you would, I don't know. That's not a spacer, that's part of the dual wipe. If I cut those, then the sides are going to lay off to whatever way. That would just mess it all up. I have been cutting the entire row of headers that sticks up through the PCB. That way you can just lay it right down on there. It makes it just easy enough that you don't mind. How's the health doing here? Looks like I haven't got any hits for low bandwidth. Seem to be doing okay. Looks like I am losing disk space. Got 170 megabyte free. I'm guessing the HD capture is putting this straight to the hard drive. I'm not even sure how long it's been streaming right now. That's usually where the time is. So we're gonna run out of time. It's probably gonna quit streaming here pretty soon on its own if I don't stop it. Which is okay. I've got some off-camera stuff to do. The problem is I didn't never think this laptop was going to be my main computer in the office. It's only got a 64 gigabyte SSD in it. I was only going to use it as a automotive scan tool. I had no intentions of using this thing for a main computer, but it's doing way better than my computer was doing in here, so. But like I said, I need to get a bigger computer in here anyway. Is chat still working? Nobody's posting anything. Maybe it was an older video where it was an issue with the PCB layout. Yeah, maybe. What brand or version of flux am I using? Well, I have a flux pen. People ask about this once in a while. It's a Boncody. It's Japanese made. I got it on eBay. I love it. It's got like a horsehair type tip to it. And you just squeeze it to add more flux to the tip. And it's just rosin core flux in there right now. MG Chemicals rosin flux. Looks like I can't really tell. It feels like I'm down to about half a bottle. Once that's done, I'll probably switch to the No Clean stuff, the same stuff that Voltar uses. That's also MG Chemicals. It's called No Clean Flux. There might be a model number up, but the bottle's far away. I am not married. I do have a girlfriend. Just got a notification for low disk space, so if this suddenly stops, that's why. And I will get the PCB cleaned and start the stream back up. I clear some disk space also, I guess. But I think we are nearing that point anyway. Interposers are assembled. Cap kit. Yep, I think we're all good. So I'm just going to stop it here and see what's up. I'll be back later. Or not. The game capture software is froze. It won't even let me hit the stop stream. Interesting. Might actually have to control alt delete this stuff. Let's see. We're using about 30% CPU, about 3 gig of 8. I think this thing's got 8 gig RAM. The game capture software just froze and won't let me click anything. So hell with it. We'll just let it go until it dies. But I'll be in the other room cleaning, in case you're wondering where I'm at. Are we still going? Well, the game capture software keeps saying 100 megabyte free and then up to closer to 200 megabyte free. I don't know if it's caching some stuff and then finding free space or what it's doing. Seems like I tried to direct the game capture software to use the C temp folder, but I don't see a file in there or folder. What's the plastic look like? Well, right there it is. A couple spots. One thing I love about top loader and AV Famicom plastics is they got kind of like a texture to the surface to the point that they always clean up really good. This is just little bits of magic eraser. It does dull it, but a little bit dull looks better than black mark. You really got to use a toothbrush down in there and right there and down in there. See, that all looks like brand new now. That all looks really good. More bug guts. And this thing cleaned up really nice compared to what it looked like, right? So the motherboard was cleaned and sprayed down with rubbing alcohol. And is now sitting in front of the space heater. So about the only thing I can do right now is drill the LED hole. Just that simple. Very common to see some crustiness right there. That red button slides up and down. I'm shocked that this is still going. Game capture software is still frozen. Who's got questions? People aren't on their lunch breaks. It's 3 p.m. here, which means it's noon in California, on the West Coast, so some people are on their lunch break. Could you put an LED light in front of a loader power grease up buttons? Yeah, I've seen it done. It looks gorgeous. I just never investigated it myself. I don't think it's super easy. Can what work for an SNES Model 2 Mini? High Def NES is NES only, not SNES. Here's some junk I was working on earlier. Bob at Retro RGB wanted the 240p test suite put onto a cartridge. I'm like, yeah, I should be able to do that because it's unROM. And I tried it and I cannot get it to boot. And then I found out that Teppels, I don't remember his name, it should come to me. He's in Fort Wayne, Indiana, actually, and he put this out, and he made a BN-ROM version. So I burned that off, both on 512K chips, kilobit, but neither of them boot. I get gray screen. Not sure why. Hi from Northern Ireland. Thinking of getting into NES mods? What are my tips? Start small. Like if you don't know how to do an LED mod, then you better figure that out first. I get questions all the time. What resistor do I use with my LED? I don't know. It depends on the LED. If you don't understand that, go to ledcalc.com. Look up the specs of your LED, find a data sheet for it or something like that. I mean, usually like Mouse or whatever, they'll list the specs that you need to figure out what resistor you need. If you bought your LEDs on eBay, then I'd say just throw at least 100 ohms on it. If you don't know the specs. If you get too small a resistor, it'll burn bright for a few seconds and then burn out. Too high resistor, you won't get the maximum light output from it, which not necessarily the worst thing. Hello to Bloomington. I go through Bloomington quite often. Great motorcycle riding country. Anthony Vataco, did you buy a high-def NES kit? I just sent some stuff. I just sent a bunch of kits and it seems like 2 or 3 of them were in Indiana. Not yet. Well, that's cool. My fiance would be pissed. Tell her it's an investment, so to speak, or buy it, put it into a console, and flip it, sell it on eBay. Speaking of which, there was a dude selling them on eBay for like $280 for a high-def NES modded front loader. Man, that's the lowest price I've seen. I'm not saying it's a good install. I mean, if you look at the hole, you're kind of like, eh. But that is pretty cheap. I mean, if you think, you probably pay about $50 for a front loader and the kits. I don't know, with shipping, you could be up in the $150 range. So let's just say $200 just in parts. And then he's paying eBay and PayPal fees. So I wonder how much money he's actually making on that deal. And maybe he's not selling it. Maybe it's just the same one getting relisted over and over. Because it won't sell because the hole looks like crap. Hello to Canada. I've been to Canada. I've been to Regina, Canada, a lot. Used to work with farmers on my last job. Regina is not great country. It's all just like Great Plains, just flat and desolate. You have a coworker with a huge stock of extras for the other day. What? Hello to Germany. I'd love to go to Germany. I say this to everybody from foreign countries. I have a passport. I am willing to travel. If you will set me up a place to sleep and chauffeur me around, I'll show up for a game convention or something like that. That'd be amazing. Hello to Scotland. Hello, Reno, Nevada. Dirty Bob 6969. How old are you? Because the 6'9" thing kind of dates you. Unless you're like 14 still. I remember when the 6'9" thing became this huge thing. Everybody was into it. And I'm just like, it doesn't make you that cool. Hello to Puerto Rico. Old enough, exactly. Old enough to know better and too young to care. Okay, nobody was asking about this. Let's get this out of the way. I think it's been long enough that the motherboard is probably dry now. Hello to Brazil. Hello to Finland. Blacksburg, Virginia. Which part of Virginia is that in? I've been to Virginia, like, oh, crap, what was the name of the town? We took a motorcycle trip out there, and we were mostly in the mountains, kind of in the northwest Virginia part, but we did ride down and do a little bit of historical touring, but I'm not really into it. I definitely wasn't into it back then, so I can't remember where we went. Hello to Ukraine. Vlad, I think I see your name a lot. I recognize the picture. Memphis, California, Vermont. Thanks for pronouncing Nevada correctly. What? Are you serious? Below Roanoke. Oh, I want to say there is a chain of 3 game stores in Virginia that are buying a bunch of high-def NES kits recently. Man, I can't remember the name of this store, but I want to say they were based in... maybe not Roanoke, but maybe one of their stores was in Roanoke. The next Draken video, don't know. Trying to plan something special for that one. Hello to Columbia. Hello, upstate New York. Man, I hear that term a lot. Upstate New York. Like it's some fascinating different place that New York City people talk about. Nevada. Is it? Oh, Nevada. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't ever hear people say Nevada or whatever. Next time I'm through Bloomington, check out Function Brewing. I'm actually not much of a drinker, although for the last few years I've been drinking a lot of Angry Orchard. Actually, I should say up until about a year ago I was drinking a lot of it. But I have a girlfriend now, so I have no reason to drink. Planning on AV modding a Master System 2. Do I know what type of wire would be best? Something that doesn't have an open in it. I mean, it doesn't need to be anything special. I use ribbon cable. This stuff right here. I think this is just oh. I forget what freaking gauge it is. I think 18 gauge. A little bit bigger. Do I fix C64s? No. Not that I wouldn't, I just have never gotten into it. What am I working on? An AV Famicom. We're doing a high def NES mod on it. Just for something to stream, really. I've got maybe another hour or so here before I got to get off and run some errands. Okay. Back on this. Let's see, let's get this 220 in here first. Remember to lay that thing down. So you can also bridge Q1, ow. Yeah, thanks, Matt, for repeating that. I'm sitting here working. I'm probably not looking at the live chat, so if you got a burning question, you gotta tag me in it. Otherwise, I won't see it. Is there any mod I wish I could do but currently unable? What do you mean? I don't have time to do a lot of mods. Unable how? Skill wise, or I got a ton of consoles I wish I could get time to mod. Like feels like I spent the last 3 weeks shipping kits. Man, it took forever. Ultra HDMI came in, and then the dual wipes for the high def NES came in, so I had to restart those sales. Do I own a NES Zapper, and is it orange or red? I've got a ton of orange ones and a ton of gray ones. There never was a red one in the US. Do I know if an NTSC SCART cable works on Brazilian SNES? I don't think there's anything such thing as an NTSC SCART cable, because SCART is a connector, not a video format. NTSC is a video format, but PAL and NTSC both pass the same signals through the cable, I think. Do I worry about lead exposure or fumes? Fuck yeah, I do. I had my blood tested for lead here a few years ago, and there was 0 in it. But the fumes do worry me. I often worry about lung cancer or whatever. Maybe he means Jap. Well, Jap doesn't use SCART. Japan uses JP21, which is just a different pinout of the same connector. I make all these mods look easy. Well, that's because I've done them all 1,000 times. Let's see. Yes, that's 5 volt. That ground, yes, okay. Very much like a top loader. Can solder the LED. Right to the pins on the cart connector. Very convenient. Did I throw the 7805 away? No. Uh-oh. Time to remagnetize the screwdriver. Well, I'd show it to you if I can find it. Must have taken it out to the garage. No. Right in front of my face. If you've seen these or not, you gotta have one of these. Magnetize your screwdriver. Look at that. I'm doing this very much out of order from what I normally would do because you guys are distracting the shit out of me. Wish I had one. Where did you get it? What are you talking about? Did I fix all of the Drac modded consoles? No. The first one was so bad that I just replaced the motherboard, which sucks because that means I could have just left it as it was and had something awesome, amazing to look at. The second one I did fix. AV Famicom. No. I have to think about that one. I'd have to rewatch the video. This last AV Famicom, I left it as is. I actually traded the owner for it, so now I own it. I won't tell you about the fourth one yet. That'll be part of the video. I think I hear the mailman. Wonder if he's got anything good for me today. Sorry about that. It wasn't the mailman. Grab another main board to make this easier. When I snip the legs off, does that make the HDMI port more prone to rip off? No, it's the legs go through the PCB, it's really thick. The point of it is to try to get it to lay flat in there. The template that you print off and put right there was really made for that hole to be to the point where the legs, the nubs were snipped off and the board is laying flat. That way we get a more accurate baseline for everybody. Like, those nubs are not the same height on all these boards, so what do? Well, snip them off and make them flat. It makes it a little easier to control, sort of. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution, but that's just the way I went with it. I tell you, I really would like to find somebody that could do a metal template for us, though. One thing that Voltar really dropped the ball on. That was supposed to be his contribution to the project, and it just never happened. Do I even bother fixing bug-infested consoles? That's what I'm doing right now. Left them to sit out in the sun in a hefty bag. Why? There's still live bugs in it? Roaches and scorpions? Live ones in your consoles. Oh my god. If a scorpion crawled out of a console, I would shit myself. And then I would keep it as a pet. We don't have scorpions in Indiana. Gotta go a little bit south for that. But I do get consoles from all over, so it could happen, I guess. Normally I would do this part first or right after getting it back from drying it. But this live stream stuff's got me distracted. I'm all out of order. Do I fix handhelds? Yeah. Haven't done a lot yet, especially not on the YouTube channel. But like the Turbo Express is one of my favorite things ever. I lusted after one when I was a kid so bad. Hell, I think it was $400. I had a TD16, so of course I wanted the Turbo Express. Do I get any of my stuff at thrift stores? Nope. Yeah, working toward my thumb makes you nervous. It makes me nervous too, because if that thing broke, actually coming back this way, honestly, is a little safer because I'm like leveraging my wrist and not pushing my entire arm. So if it broke this way, I mean my wrist might move a fraction of an inch before I caught it. But if it broke going that way, my whole arm would just push out. Gadget Fix wants to know if I've done the GameCube HDMI mod. No, I do have one here. I just haven't had time to get to it. And I'm talking about the Pluto board from whatever the KNJN or whatever site. I've got it. And I just found, Bob just talked about the 3D printed holders. So I'd like to get a hold of one of those before I actually dig into it. I think this might be the first one I ever tried to do with the little nubs in the corners. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit better than most of them that I've tried to do. Not bad, right? Put a couple screws in it and test it. Okay. Man, I can't believe this is still going. Capture software is still frozen up. Can't push any buttons. It's back up to saying 175 megabyte free. I really thought this was going to quit like an hour ago. If you're in the chat asking me questions, be sure to tag me. Otherwise, I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else. And if I'm working, I'm definitely not looking at the chat, paying attention. I think you just got to type at GameTechUS, one word. I think. Maybe want to put these in, huh? Let's see. Does the foam block that goes on top... Scrolled too fast. Does the foam block that goes on top of the FPGA chip get in the way of heat dissipation? Maybe. You can put the foam block somewhere else. It don't have to be on the FPGA. How about doing a Japanese red-white Famicom HDMI mod? No thanks. Somebody did it. I want to say I tweeted about it, maybe. I tweeted a link to the guy that did it. Man, it looked like a nightmare. And yes, the AV Famicom's running in the background. You ever use one of those don't push down NES adapters for front loaders? It's called the blinking light win. Yes, I did a bunch of videos about it. Let's see if I can... Oh, what's the best way to do this? Let's see about getting you shot. Wait for the delay to catch up, see what I'm showing you. That's the finished mod on the AV Fami, running volleyball. Well, it was running it. What happened? Could be the game, I guess. I hit reset and it started back up. Bad installer. No shit. I'm terrible at this. Alright people, I gotta go. Gotta go pick up the brother-in-law. I don't know if I'll be back later tonight. I'm sure the girlfriend will be over here after 7 o'clock, but if I get some time between then, maybe I'll come back and finish up this installation, but if not, wait till, geez, I don't even know, or next week. Just look for me. See you guys later.